First thing I'm going to check is if the dishwasher has been run. If not, I'm going to turn it on, of course only if it has dirty dishes in it. As with any cleaning, we always start top to bottom, so we're not cleaning anything twice. So I start with the fronts of the cupboards. This finish is not too bad, but if you get darker woods, you often see all the fingerprints and grease, and we just don't want any build-up, so we just give it a quick wipe like that. Check your shelves for dust, crumbs, and any rings or food underneath any of your items. If your microwave or oven has stuck on food, spray it and then come back to it a little bit later. It'll be so much easier to clean. Next, I'm going to tidy up and put away any clean dishes so that they're out of the way before I start cleaning my other surfaces. I'm careful about how I put things away, so I've got all the handles going in the same direction, and make sure to spread out all the items that are in our cupboards and drawers just so that it's aesthetically pleasing. Same thing as with bathrooms, we spray everything first, let the cleaner do the job, then we're going to come back and wipe everything down. Here I'm wiping down placemats before removing everything from the table so that I can clean the table. The top of the fridge was cleaned when I did the cupboards. I'm going to show you how we clean in an exaggerated manner, so this figure 8. This ensures that we are not just spreading around the crumbs in the dirt, that we're actually capturing all of it in our cloth. If you do the eye level test where you lower yourself down to the level of your counter surface, you can see everything you missed. And I always do this when I do checks, and it's surprising how often I have to actually redo tables and countertops. So here I am doing it again. So move all of your appliances out of the way. I don't have an oven, but usually you'd be cleaning your oven and stovetop as well. For stainless steel, I would maintain whatever's been used on it. So if it's stainless steel cleaner for one of your residential clients, then keep using that same product. Otherwise, baby oil is great for polishing, or you can just use a bit of vinegar on your rag, and that's pretty good for polishing as well. Again, presentation is really important, so make sure that everything's facing forward and is nicely spaced out. Make sure you're really cleaning everything that's on your countertop. There's dust, grease, fingerprints, everything that accumulates on there. It's also a good reminder of what you need to restock, so you can do that as you're going, or you can do it all at the end. After I've wiped down my kettle, I like to leave it open so that there's no mold growing in there between guests. I also unplug all of my countertop appliances. You don't want to be causing any electrical fires. Clean behind every piece of appliance. Coffee makers are huge. Always check for used grounds or coffee pods, and you also want to clean behind the carafe. I'm constantly doing that when I'm doing checks of places. And then that little drainage thing at the bottom. Pots and pans are often overlooked. You want to make sure that they're nice and polished. Very hard to show in a video, but you can kind of see with this one that there's some marks there from food. It just came out of the dishwasher. It is clean, but we want it to look clean as well. So just a bit of vinegar. Sometimes you might need to let it sit. In this case, all it needs is a bit of a wipe, and then it's nice and sparkling again for our next guests. The cutlery drawer, my biggest source of frustration. Just make sure that there's no crumbs in here. A very easy way to do this is just to get into the habit of vacuuming your drawers. Yes, I know that sounds crazy, but it's so easy. Otherwise, you're kind of pushing around the crumbs if there's a lot of them in there. Make sure that there's no food spills inside your drawer. And as you can kind of see here, our cutlery needs a bit of a polish. Sometimes it comes out of the dishwasher looking cloudy, or there's fingerprints all over it. Really important to just take a quick look. It only takes a few seconds, but make sure that that cutlery, which is going into your guests' mouths, is clean and sparkling. And just a quick rearranging, wipe out, and then it takes no time to maintain. Moving on to the fridge and freezer. In the freezer, the only thing that should be in there is ice. You can refill the trays or clean them out if they need it. Otherwise, everything should be perfectly clean. Check all of your glass in the fridge and the door. Nothing sticky in there. No butter marks anywhere. Only things that are squeezable or pourable. Most people don't want anything scoopable in there. You don't want to have anybody double dipping. And if you have to take out the drawers and check underneath there, or any of the glass can usually be lifted out, then make sure you do that. It should be perfectly clean. And then the fronts and sides of your fridge, there's often fingerprints on there, more often than not, so you're best off just doing it every time. Nice and organized cupboard there, everything's nicely spaced out. With this drawer, you want to make sure that there's kind of one of everything. So there should be a can opener, a bottle opener, some scissors. It's good to be familiar with what's in the place. Otherwise, I'm going to be getting the call from the client asking where it's gone. Okay, so garbage cupboard, usually pretty dirty. People are always touching that with dirty hands, so make sure it gets a good wipe, including that bottom ledge there. And then our garbage cans, check the outside and the inside. Ignore how painful it is for me to take this garbage bag out. So the inside should be clean as well. Your guests are going to notice that when they're changing garbage when they're there. Every last bit matters. And then under the sink, you should always be getting a clean. It's often neglected. People think that it doesn't matter, but it's all of it's noticeable. The only thing down here really should be things like garbage bags, which are missing here, some all-purpose cleaner, sponges, and dish soap. I'm going to throw away any old sponges and replace those. Important to polish your sink last because you're going to be using your sink during the whole duration of cleaning. Make sure that you're getting underneath your taps and around it. You can use a toothbrush to get in there if there's anything built up. Look underneath your tap handles. I often find dirt there. I'm using vinegar to polish, but you might need to use a sponge to give it a good scrub first, depending how dirty it is. And you're going to be cleaning your drains and plugs as well. You can put the plugs in the dishwasher at the beginning of your clean if it hasn't been run yet. I also clean off my dish soap container and hand soap container. Everything should be nice and polished, and then at the end you'll see that I leave a clean rag and sponge. Filled up my hand soap, and then there should be a dish towel hanging, but this little rug rat got in the way. And that's it.